Yo, guys, what is up? This is your boy John Lawson, and we're doing a CV Hangout here for business, a business CV Hangout. I've got Stephen Gu here with me.
Hey, guys.
And this is specifically around the SBA loan process. So people, if you've got questions about SBA loans, go ahead and put them into our your Facebook chat, or if you're on YouTube, put it over there because we're going both places. I should be able to see them. Hopefully you are able to see us. So here we go. Stephen, real quick, just give everybody a quick introduction of what you do, who you are, and why we should even listen to you.
Well, thank you, John, very much for this opportunity. First of all, I'm an Amazon seller too. That's how we connect. I help lots of e-commerce seller, but I can never break a million. I did it as a side job. So the max amount I can did is was like $700,000 as a side job. But I did IA, OA, wholesale, private labeling, but I did not get too much success, especially after my second kid was born. Basically, I gave up. And myself, by training, I'm a CPA, I'm a lawyer, I'm a tax lawyer. I used to work for KPMG, one of the big four accounting firms. I do merger acquisitions, cross-border transactions, etc. But I quit my job after I had kids because I was traveling too much. But I still have passion with e-commerce. So majority of my clients are actually e-commerce sellers, international companies, and also physicians. So this is sort of related to the coronavirus. I think the e-commerce sellers, us, this community, the people hang out with John. Many of them are e-commerce sellers. They sort of know this coronavirus ahead of majority of the people in US. Most likely, if you order stuff from China, you already notice like things being delayed, right? And I remember, John, you and I started watching this probably 2 or 3 months ago, right? Before you even started this coronavirus watch. So yeah. So that's my background. I help lots of e-commerce sellers and local business as well. And also because I have another niche is physicians. I do tax, I do CFO kind of work for them. So I also hear a lot of information from the physicians, and those physicians actually they monitor this very well. So that's sort of I know this is big. This is not 3 months, 2-3 months ago, because this is so far away. People think, oh look, this is just big wave, and now we know all of a sudden we know it's a tsunami, and this is just one tsunami. The virus just one. And I think the economic impact, the potential recession is even bigger tsunami. I wish I can show you the text message I just received before the call. My client, because I warned him, like I said, look, bad things going to happen. If we do not get the money within like this month or next, people are going to start paying the rental. So he literally texts me. He's like, Stephen, you're so right. His client negotiating. He has a factory rented out. He's negotiating for the renting fee from $20,000 to $15,000. And if the other guy cannot pay, he cannot pay the mortgage. So it will be a chain of reactions. So that sort of bring up to the topic like SBA loan. I think this is a good opportunity to get the funding to cover the working capital loans for the next 3 to 6 months. What's your opinion, John? I think this thing going to continue for probably more than 3 months, definitely more than 3, probably won't end until 1 year later.
So when you say it's going to continue, what do you mean? The results of it or the fallout from it?
Follow-ups. I mean, fallout, fully recover. Go back to what we, in January time. I think it's going to take some time.
Yeah, I'm saying 6 to 12 months. I'm telling some businesses you might want to look at zero income for maybe 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you going to do without income in your small business for 4, 6, 8 weeks? That can be enough to kill most businesses.
Yeah, I have another client. He has close 20 employees. last week, and he cut it to 4. He cut it to 4 last week, and this week cut it to 2. Just him and his wife. It's that bad. Yeah.
That's harsh, man. That's harsh.
It is.
And it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
And, and then some parts of the country are getting hit worse than other parts.
Yeah. And certain industry, some industries are fine, but I think mainly it's really our local business, coffee shops, restaurants, entertainment, bars. I drove around. I live in Florida, so I drove around yesterday, Sunday. Majority of them are closed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's jobs. It's not just a single bar. It's a bar with bartenders, food preparers, servers, dishwashers, barbacks. I mean, that's a lot of people. Every little business that we pass, it employs people, and those are in our community.
Yes, exactly. Barbershop, and for many of those people, actually, they live on paycheck by paycheck sometimes.
Yeah.
If they don't receive a paycheck by end of this month, they are in big trouble.
Right. They can't pay the necessities. All right. So let's get into your small business presentation. So then we can start taking some questions from folks if they have some.
Okay. Yeah, this is meant to be more like Q&A type. So I will do some quick presentation, and then I will be open to answering the questions.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. Can you see this?
I see that.
Good. No, I'm new to this, so.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
First of all, so for some disclaimer, really, this is all the information I'm gathering, I'm sharing is really just for information only. Okay, it's not a legal opinion or tax opinion. So basically, you cannot rely on anything what I say. But the information I'm gathering is either from SBA policy, SBA FAQs. And our phone call with loan officers. So really just try to share everybody, what is this SBA loan about and how you can apply for this. Okay. So last Monday, we passed a new bill. Basically, they give $7 million fund to help the small business. Basically, it's for small business impact by this COVID-19. And for eligible business, they can apply up to $2 million, okay, for the loan. So it's the interest rate. It's the loan can be used to pay for the fixed debts, payrolls, account payables, other bills. Basically, it's a working capital loan to cover your operating expense. The interest rate is 3.75 for small business and 2.75 for the private nonprofits. And the terms are pretty flexible. It can be up to 5-year, 15-year, 10-year, 15-year, even 30 years, right? And this is really government's response to the disaster, and the term is decided by case basis, right? It really depends on borrower's ability to repay. In order to apply this loan, here are a few key documents. You have to have your recent financial statement, your tax return, of course, and also for financial statement, you needed to have your previous year financial statement and a year-to-date financial statement. And you have to provide a schedule of liability, listed all the fixed debts, and of course, you have to fill out all the SBA paperwork. And you might also need an additional document. For example, you may need some monthly sales figures, right, to demonstrate the economic impact you experienced. And I think, John, you already applied yourself. It's kind of tedious. And the worst thing is the website is so crowded. It'll crash all the time. It's extremely slow. So now, my office, we either do it after 10 p.m. or really early in the morning when the speed is a little bit faster. Here are a few links. There are more detailed links like how to apply this. Okay, and the application, you just do disasterloan.sba.gov and ELA. You can apply there. And the steps, there are a few documents you have to file, like a Form 4506. Basically, you need to get the tax transcript, and you have to prepare the Form 415. That's your personal financial statement, and you have to prepare the liability schedule, Form 2202. And also, there's maybe the additional information. Basically, they have to collect for the monthly sales figure. I guess they need to decide. You want to make sure this is really related to the economic disaster, not because of your management of the company, right? So again, how does it work? You need a financial statement, I already discussed this. We'll skip this. So the loan is $2 million, up to $2 million. Pay off the debt, I already discussed this. The term is 5, 7, 10 years, very flexible. Typically, you have to pay back every month, but you can defer the payment for a year, but the interest will still occur. Okay.
Okay, say that again. You can defer for a year before payments start.
Right. Yeah.
But
so you can choose
that year. The interest will occur.
Yeah, interest will occur. Yeah. Yeah. And the process they said is going to take 2 to 3 weeks for the loan determination. And once you get approved, they will send you a first check within a week for $25,000 up to $25,000, right? Now this is good because at least you will receive your first paycheck very fast. But the problem is, I don't know what, John, what's your opinion? I feel like it will take longer than 3 weeks because so many people are applying. And I guess all the SBA officers, they are working from home like us, and they're going to receive such a big, people just flooding in, lots of applicants. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time for them to process this. And another thing makes this SBA loan special is typically SBA loan, you have to go through the bank. So the bank helps the government to disturb all the SBA loans. But for this one, you can get the money directly from Treasury Department. You don't have to go through the bank. So basically, the policy behind this is they try to push the money. They try to give the money to the small business, so the business will not be interrupted. Do I qualify? You have to be physically located in the economic disaster area. And what is a disaster area? You can find the information on the SBA website. It has to be announced by different state, right? And it's available to nonprofit, small business, and agriculture co-ops. And it has to be small business. Typically, one of the definition of small business varies by industry. Typically, it's business generate less than $75,000 or $300.5 million, right? It depends on the industry. And typically, it's less than 100 people or less than 1,500 people. Again, it also depends on the industry. And also, you have to have a good credit history. Typically, it's above 640. Right, and the applicant should not have any default on the other loans. Right, you basically have a satisfactory performance on the prior SBA loans or student loans. And of course, the repay, they are looking for the ability to repay, typically 1.25 debt to service coverage ratio. And another thing is, of course, the typical, like you should not have any criminal history. Those are very typical things, very similar to the other loan applications. Do you have any question by far? I cannot see the screen. I cannot see the comment.
Okay, no problem. No, I'm watching the chat room.
Okay.
Everybody seems to be very silent. Either we're not actually working or something, but I'm not seeing any questions yet.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue. Okay, just stop me.
But you know what? Here's what I do want to. When you say usually 1.25 debt to service coverage ratio, exactly what does that mean? That's a little. I don't know exactly what you mean there.
Well, it's a special ratio. Typically, you can think of this way. In layman's term, you look at it like a debt. This is like debt to equity, right? How much equity you have, how much debt, how much how much income you're generating can repay the loan. It's
okay. So you're talking about now, is that the business debt or is that personal debt?
They look both. Depends on your business entity, right? If it's a pass-through, actually, I got to cover this. Actually, they were, if it's a pass-through entity, they will look both. They will look both. So on your schedule of liability, you have to list your personal, your personal and the business line by line.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, this is a question I ask very common, right? If I'm a tenant, right? If I'm a landlord, if my tenant is stop paying, what I gotta do? Am I qualified? The answer is yes. So if the landlord suffer economic injury because of the tenant cannot pay the rent because of the virus, they can apply for the loan as well. But if you own multiple properties, multiple rentals, and each under own LLC, then you have to file separate application for each LLC. And typically that's reported on SBA Form 5C instead of Form 5. And even now, real estate agents, they also ask me, hey, can they apply? And based on our conversation with the SBA law officer, yes. If they are no longer meeting their clients, and a real estate agent can apply for the SBA. So I think this is a very common question. Lots of people ask this. I think we covered the terms 3.75. The time, first check, $25,000 collateral. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. So if you just apply for a loan for less than $25,000, you don't even need to provide a collateral. Okay. So only for loans above $25,000, you will provide collateral. The collateral could be real estate, machine, equipment, etc. What's a good candidate? We covered this already. I think we covered this also. Oh, what's the definition of suffered substantial economic damage, right?
Yeah.
So that means the business is unable to meet its obligation and to pay its ordinary and necessary operating expense, right? So basically, again, it's working capital to help small business survive until the normal operation resumes after disaster.
Now, I don't remember it asking me about that.
Yeah, typically what the process will be, you submit all the questions, SBA loan officer field off, they're going to contact you after they review the material, and then they will start to ask you. And did you provide your financial statement and the monthly sales number?
Yeah, I did all that.
Yeah, they will review the information, and then they will come back to you, ask a question like, okay, show me, what kind of, I hope you show them your burn rate, right? How much is the operating expense, and if your business is going down, how much expense you need, how much working capital you need. They will ask you the question.
They will ask me those questions. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You don't need to fill those information out during the application process. But remember, there's one page is blank. So that page, actually, you can type in, you can explain what your business is and how you are suffered from this economic disaster. And then you can provide certain information. Typically, we tell them, okay, what is our operation expense, what's our burn rate, and how much we're going to impact. And we are short of how much working capital. Okay.
And so Patty is saying loans below $25,000 do not require collateral.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very nice. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. The key is really to give the money to the business immediately, so they can pay their employees. They can pay their rent.
Right. Okay. Perfect.
What a business eligible? Not eligible. Actually, yeah. What business not eligible? So, lending and investment concerns, except for real estate investment, they are not eligible. Okay. And I guess multiple sales distributions, I think those are more like, what do you say, those M-way kind of type of sales innovation, right?
Uh-huh.
And the nonprofit that is not considered a private nonprofit, they cannot apply. Consumer and a marketing cooperative, they cannot apply. Of course, if does not qualify as small business, it's not qualified. Gambling concerns, something related to gambling, casino, racetrack, no, those are not applicable. And religious organization, they cannot apply. Lobby concerns, critical. Pawn shop, if the pawn shop earns half of their money out of from the interest, they cannot apply. This one is important. Real estate developers, they cannot apply. Life insurance agency, not apply. Cannabis industry, unfortunately, they are not qualified.
Oh, dang.
Sucks,
Okay.
right?
No, but okay. So these are interesting. Go ahead. You got more of these?
Yeah.
Okay.
But those are something typically not applicable, right? I cannot apply.
Let me just ask you, what about, let's say you've got an eBay business and it's a, used goods flipping. Would that apply? Can you apply for that?
More like a retail arbitrage, right?
Yeah, similar to retail arbitrage.
I think it's still the same thing. You have to look at it like, are you qualified? Do I qualify this? Right? You have to look at, are you physical? Do you have a physical location, or is your office physically located in a disaster area, right? And how much is your sales, right? And do you have good credit history? These are the key elements they are looking at.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
But of course, you have to demonstrate that your sales has been impacted by this coronavirus.
And if you are a solo business, does that qualify? You're the only employee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
I think lots of businesses are like that, right? It's
right.
It's
LLC.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, here's the other thing. You do have to file, I'm guessing, taxes on that business at some level.
What depends, right? If you have a LLC but filed as on your Schedule C, it's a disregarded entity. Then you just need to show them your personal return.
Okay.
It's on your Schedule C.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, but if you have, let's say, S corporation partnership, right, or even an Inc., then you have to show them the business return, 1120S, 1120, etc.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, one thing I need to mention, like what if you have multiple owners, you have partners. So when you apply this for people with 20% ownership, everybody have to fill out the personal financial statement.
Right. And if you have more than 50, only the one. I remember that.
More than 20. As long as you own more than 20.
I remember I had 51 and I didn't have to dig deep.
Right.
But
right.
So somebody else is asking, what about service industries? That's the same thing. If I'm doing business as a service, as long as I can show and meet all those qualifications. Okay.
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, one of my clients, they're doing they're doing the service, like event kind of service, right? Typically, because this is very typical, right? It's related. All of a sudden, all the event being canceled, right? People stop traveling, right? Travel, they provide service for the traveling. Those are very typical. You can. It's very easy to demonstrate it is impacted by coronavirus.
Okay, perfect.
Let me see what else we have. So what is not qualified? Could this application be turned down for the loan? Yes. But the common reason we are being, do you have a physical presence in the disaster area? Right now, I mean, in Georgia, we have certain disaster area, but in some place like Alaska, I don't think they are qualified. I don't think they have any cases. And also, if they are not suffering from substantial economic harm, right? Well, again, the substantial economic injury means the business is unable to meet its obligations and pay its ordinary necessary operation expenses. Okay. And if they have a poor payment history, if they have bad credit history, it's probably they cannot get approved. And if it's currently in bankruptcy, they cannot get it. But prior bankruptcy were not pre-approved a loan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. It could.
Could exactly.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Got it.
How can you spend the money? Right. Once you get the loan, you need to you have to use the loan proceeds to own the working capital to cover your that is to carry your concern until resume of the normal operation, right? And the proceed cannot be used to pay for the refinance of the debt, right? Cannot make payment on the loans that are owned by another SBA loan, and you cannot pay directly or indirectly any obligation resulting from tax penalty related. You cannot use repair the physical damage. You cannot use that money to pay for the dividends or make distribution to the shareholders, except for the reasonable compensation directly related to the performance of service. Meaning, let's say if you have an S corporation, and your only source of income is coming from the business, right? I mean, if you do not make the payment, if you do not draw the money, you cannot. I mean, you still need the money for your family, for your personal, right? So the loan can be used to cover that. But if you already have, beyond that reasonable compensation, you cannot pay additional money as a dividend. So that will be treated as unreasonable.
Got it.
Right.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
Now, how do you pay back? You can make one-time payment, or you can schedule recurring payment. You can just register on pay.gov, and then you just select 1201 borrower payment option. You can make the payment. Lots of options you can make. You can pay back by phone, by credit card, by just call them or online. You can also send a check. Collateral, I think we'll discuss this. Collateral, under $25,000, you don't need a collateral. What if I don't get approved? It's possible. Again, there are a few things. But here's the things. There's very downside, but it's massive upside, right? Think about this. If you don't get approved, the worst. I feel I'm encouraging all my clients look at the situation and look at your burn rate, and don't think this will just continue for 3 months. I know some business they may have cash to cover for next 3 months operation expense, but I ask you when to prepare for this 6 months to 12 months. And if you don't apply, since what happens after 4 months, right? So that's a little bit of downside, but lots of upside. Even if you get even if you don't get approved, but it's still worth trying. That's my philosophy.
So let me ask you this question. Let's say you got, you're like really hopeful that by July everything will be back to normal, your income will be back to normal, and you're pretty set up to go ahead and handle that.
Yeah.
But then, you go ahead and take this loan and get pre-approved. Do you have time before you take the draw? Can you take multiple draws? What I'm trying to figure out is, let's say things are cool for the next month, 2 months, but then, third month, it looks like, oh shit, we might be going for another 3 months. And now I don't have what I need to cover the next 3 months. Can I take this money again? Or, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. This is different from a line of credit. I guess that's what I go.
Yeah, kind of.
Right. Yeah. So you can request to increase the loan amount, but it has to be decided case by case. So you have to contact the officer, say, hey, I'm good for this month now, but all of a sudden, things change, cannot request additional loan. I think they have to get approved again.
All right. And then the other thing you said, go ahead.
No, that's it. Good.
Okay. And then the other thing you said is that if I take the money, there is up to a 12-year, I wish.
12
month grace period before repayment. But it does accrue 3.2 or 3.75.
Interest. Yeah.
Right? Is that
Yeah.
annual interest?
Annual interest. But think of this. I think this is pretty low.
It's not.
We're gonna
That's what I'm saying. It's not like a house.
No, it's right. But think about the government gonna put $2 trillion into this market. I'm 100% sure there will be inflations, right? Now you spend $5 on a latte, 3 years later, I bet that $5 is like gonna cost $7, $7. So if you look at the actual interest rate, it'll be lower than 3.75.
By the time you start paying it out.
Yeah, start paying back, right?
Got it.
Right. And another thing is, if you get the money, you say, no, my business is okay, can I pay it back? Make the early repayment? Yes, you can. You just return the money. There's no penalty. One client asked me that question. I called my field office. They said there's no penalty. But it's not, again, it's just my information. It's not listed on the website, just based on my conversation. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you are personally responsible for this loan, am I correct?
Yes.
So meaning that if your business ends up still going under, you took the loan, if you couldn't pay it back, they have the right to come after your personal assets.
Yeah, you are required to have collateral. You still have the collateral.
That's for your person. It's your business is not enough of just that correct. Okay.
Right.
And does it affect go ahead?
Now, one thing I want to mention, this is actually one of other client asked the question. Again, this is from the law officer based on a phone call. They said, if I already applied, if I already have other loan, and my business asset is already on collateral, can I apply? And the law officer said, you can still apply. So again, your existing lien or existing collateral will not preclude you from applying the loan. But if will you get approved or not, it still depends on, it's decided case by case.
Okay. And I mean, when you say your existing lien, you're talking about on your house?
Yeah, or like I have physicians, they have, they bought lots of medical equipment, right? You do the operational surgery kind of thing. So they typically get the equipment loan, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
I mean, that equipment is actually, it's not really collateral.
Well, it is. They were do collateral. If you do it, if they
even if it's got a lien on it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
so even if it's you can still list them. That's what I'm saying. You can still list them, and they will still use the collateral. Now, how they handle that, because it's already maybe the Bank of America or Citibank, they already put a collateral on it. But they said that you can still apply. Yeah.
Okay. Does it affect your credit score to apply? Patty's asking that.
That I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
Right. Yeah.
It's
only if you do not pay back, that's going to impact.
Now that it will absolutely.
Right. If you pay back on time, probably going to improve your credit score.
Yeah, I know what she means too. I mean, I don't think this goes back, and they don't go back to the credit reporting agencies and say, hey, this person applied for an SBA loan. Like if you apply for an auto loan, that shows up in your credit report. I don't think this shows up.
Yeah, this is a federal loan. I think it's the way how it works is a little bit different from the commercial.
Okay. Let's see. You said I could either do one lump sum payment on the loan, or
monthly, or do monthly.
And I can do monthly. Those are the only two options. Can I do weekly? It's like, no.
I guess probably you can if you want.
Right. They'll probably take whatever money you have to offer.
Right.
I know that for sure, right? So Ryan is also saying, no, it does not go in your credit score report. I didn't think.
Okay, good.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks. Somebody asked a question early in the thing, so let me go way back. You said it takes about how long to get confirmation?
2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks, and then another.
That's what I said on the website. If you believe them, that's like based on the CDC performance, I highly doubt.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You'll probably get a freaking coronavirus test before that. Just joking, jokes.
Yeah. Joke.
Do you know what the requirements would be? Because I've heard some talk about maybe transferring some of this to grants if you keep employees. Have you heard anything about that?
I have heard the rumor. I wish it can be transferred into grant. That would be awesome, and then everyone need to go apply. So far, I haven't. I did not see any official news. Lots of things are being discussed, and I think this is it's better than and they also talk about tax credit for the payroll tax credit, etc. But I think this is better than those tax credit, because for those credit you wouldn't get into next year. If I'm suffering, probably I do not even have a business. I will find my final return next year, right? So I don't think that tax credit actually helps. Immediate cash, it's more important.
Yeah, and I think that's, you keep saying that, and I don't know if we delve deep into that a little bit. Let's just talk about that real quick. Why is this important to the government right now? Why? I know it's important to us as business owners, but also the government's on the same side of the ball for what reason with us?
Right. So I think I read an article this Sunday by Wall Street. They're talking about the reaction, the chain of reaction of virus. And that article, actually, they cited a story in Georgia. I forgot which town in Georgia. They talk about restaurants, right? So basically, what happened is, if the business has been shut down, they cannot pay the rent for the rental property, for the commercial property. Then the owner of the commercial property, they do not have the rental income, so they cannot pay the mortgage. And then once the bank cannot receive the mortgage payment, the bank itself will be in trouble. And not to mention the business being closed, the employees working for the restaurant, they do not have income. If they do not have income, they do not have money to pay for their rent. And then if they rent, the landlord cannot receive cannot pay the mortgage. So it is a chain of reaction. It's much bigger than what we saw. So that's our fear. And really, time is very important. If we don't get the money within, for people who works in the restaurant, if they don't get a paycheck within next months, they will start to have problems, right? And for the businesses, same thing. It's really impact everybody eventually, and then you add up, accumulate all the effort being adds up, it will be pretty big.
Wow. So even just having, let's just say we have no schools, no restaurants, that impact is still very, very huge.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You don't really think about that. It's like, well, the restaurants are closed, but man, there's a lot of impact for that, because most of the business real estate is full with restaurants. You can't go to a shopping center and not have restaurants. And if all the restaurants in that place are not able to make their payment, the person or the people that own the property where the strip mall is can't make their payment. Their payment can't go to the bank. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and if they use the example like for the restaurant, they have vendors, right? And who supply the veggies, right? Veggies, meat. It impacts the farmers, right? Yeah. Looks easy, but if you look at the whole supply chain, it impacts everybody. So I'm a little bit, honestly, I'm a little bit frustrated. Congress is still just debating, if they can pass the bill or not. We need the money now.
We need the money now. We need it last week. Yeah, right. Very, very serious consequences going on here. I will tell you guys, Stephen called me last week, got me on this. I didn't even wait to this thing. I went ahead and did my and got the paperwork in. I would suggest you do too, simply because the longer we wait, I'm sure there's going to be backlog. There's probably backlog already. I know it took me 2 days to get it completed because it kept crashing. There was some issues with they said they know that there's some issues with Chrome. The only issue I had with Chrome was a couple of times where you wanted to download a doc and then upload it back. Those buttons were not working for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even I don't know what legal entity you have. Like once you get in, there's one area you have to upload the information. Actually, if you have S corporation, they don't even have the option like I want to upload 1120S. So basically, they made this site in a rush. So they keep changing those. They're doing maintenance all the time.
So I ended up having to email it. I don't know how long that's going to end up, slowing down my application. But we'll see. So, if you guys have any more questions, go ahead and shoot them at us before we get out of here. This was definitely very informative. Somebody asked, would you give us slides again?
Yeah, I can send you the slides to me again, but keep in mind, this is just for this is my internal training information. I collect it to train my employees, right? Most of the information you can pull from the SBA website, but if you want, I can send you. Just email me, email John. I'd be happy. Yeah, but again, don't rely on what I always say is not reliable.
That's very yes. I'm not a professional. He is.
But we are just having fun. We're just chatting here. Really helps the community, right? But I do want to share what we are doing for the business. We are helping. This is what we do for our business, right? We're going to assist them if the tax return is not prepared. We're going to help them prepare a return. But mainly, we just help our client completion of the monthly sales figure, completion of the P&L, right, for the application, and a personal financial statement, and all those schedules needed. I also help them to complete all loan documents. And then later on, after 2 weeks, the law officer going to call you. So we're going to help them to address responses for SBA as well. So this is what we're doing for our clients.
And who's a good client for you?
In any small business that is suffering, I was joking like all my physician friends, I was joking with my physician friend. I said, I know you guys are saving life. I tried to donate the mask to them. And I said, I'm too. I'm saving the business of the entrepreneurs. They are in the first wave. We are really working on to help the second wave. Cool.
And
you've done this. This is a very tedious work. Typically, we don't do this, but it's I think it's important, really. If we can stand together and just help each other. Absolutely.
And when anybody wants to get in contact with you, where should they do that?
They can send me email. Is there a way I can type it here? How about I type it here?
Yeah, you can type it in there. And I'll make sure.
Can I type? So here's my email.
Did I get it? Yeah, I didn't get it, but I'm having some problems. That's me.
I haven't shown you yet.
You know what? Send it to me in the chat, in the Facebook chat. Send that to me there, and then I will put it in this one. All right.
Okay.
No.
All right.
And if any other, yep. Oh, okay. Got you. I see that. Yeah. Add screen. Boom. Okay. Stephen at gucpagroup.com.
Yeah. I'm a startup too, and I know the pain. I have the same. I feel like this type of work makes me feel more fulfilled because I feel like I'm not only I'm helping my client, at the same time I feel I need to be responsible for people working for me as well. But I have to take care of my people too. So again, I feel this is great opportunities to help each other. So.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I really appreciate your time, sir, and thanks for reaching out.
It's fun. It's fun. And this is my first time live. Awesome. Thanks for
first time live, huh?
Yeah.
See, busted that cherry.
Thanks.
I'm stupid. I'm stupid. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. If you got any questions for Stephen, push them in the bottom of the chat. No matter what time you got to this video, even if you're watching the replay, I will definitely pass that on to him. I'll put his contact information in the thread. And anything else you want to say before we get out of here, Stephen?
No, just it's fun, and it's a great honor to be here. Thank you for organizing this. And anybody have questions, feel free to email me.
Awesome. We'll be back.
Take care.
I'm getting all my expert friends to talk to us, so I'll be doing some more of these for sure. All right, guys, we are out of here for now. Peace.
Peace. Stay safe.